Ladies, young ladies, and gentlemen, good evening to all of you, wherever you may be in the world. Sorry for this prolonged absence. We are currently finalizing the evaluation questions for the course at the university. So it takes quite a bit of time. We'll be on vacation very soon. In international news, President Donald Trump is very irritated with Spain. Spain and Poland, which are the two countries that were very involved, extremely agitated regarding the actions of the West towards Russia. The recent NATO summit, which began on the 24th of June, ended with a victory for Donald Trump. And this significant victory corresponds to the widespread acceptance, even if it's only a superficial initial acceptance by Europe, by the various European states, that is to say, the entire European Union, to collectively raise the gross domestic product of all its member states to a substantial 5%. 5% devoted exclusively to military spending. This has always been Donald Trump's fight, even before he came to power. And after he took office, there you have it. So, after Donald Trump was elected, he insisted. He said that America can no longer continue to finance Europe's security. He said that Europe should invest money to defend itself, which is completely reasonable. So he imposed it or tried to impose this on the Europeans. The European countries accepted, at least on the surface. We had already discussed this video conference in one of our previous shows. All the European countries agreed. But there is one country that is reluctant: Spain. Spain does not want to. And when you look at the breakdown, when you see the statistics of GDP percentages devoted to defense, Spain is way down at the bottom. So Spain refuses to raise its national budget, its GDP share devoted to defense, to 5%. This is what makes Donald Trump uncomfortable. And what needs to be made clear is that this frenzied increase in the share of gross domestic product that must be devoted to defense is a clear message sent to Russia, or at least to the other bloc, which means we are preparing to enter into confrontation with you. NATO and the European Union had even set a timeline for this. They have projected that by 2029, or at the latest 2030, the confrontation between Russia and NATO should begin. So it is as a prelude to this that this increase has been requested. Is Spain refusing simply because it does not have the means to allocate that amount to its defense? Or is Spain simply refusing in order to avoid drawing the ire of Russia and all the other allies of the global South bloc? This is the big question mark. And now, the very strong words that Donald Trump used, which don't exactly match the realities on the ground. He said that Spain could be completely destroyed. Spain could be completely destroyed. But how is Spain going to be destroyed? How is Spain going to be completely destroyed? Here's what's being said. Donald Trump wants to make Spain pay for its reluctance to increase military spending. So, since Spain doesn't want to, ways must be found to destabilize Spain. It's not going to be on a military level. For now, Donald Trump is focusing much more on the commercial aspect, on tariffs. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this video conference, that's what we're going to talk about. But before we continue, I humbly ask you to share this video conference. Give it lots of likes. And above all, don't forget to leave your opinions in the comments. Let's dive deeper. According to official information, US President Donald Trump wants to make Spain pay economically for its reluctance to increase military spending. So he wants to make Spain pay on the economic front. So the destruction of Spain will be on an economic level. He made this statement on Wednesday at the end of the NATO summit in The Hague. And when you look at the statistics, as I was saying, we have several countries. At the top, we have Poland, which devoted 4.07% of its GDP to defense. These are the statistics at the 2021 exchange rate. After Poland is the first country that really allocated a lot of money to defense. After Poland, we have Estonia, Latvia, and finally, United States comes in fourth place with 3.19%. Even though it's 3.19%, America still remains very powerful. But the request that was made is directed exclusively at Europeans who must increase their spending. We don't know whether America also needs to increase. But it's America that is imposing at the very bottom of the scale, not to say the last country is Spain. Spain allocates 1.24% of its budget. Please share the video conference with me. Share the video conference with me. Yes, share it. So Spain is at the bottom of the scale. Let me show you. It will come out reversed. But when you look at it like this, Spain is right at the bottom. It comes out reversed. So here is Spain's position. Now, this really bothers Donald Trump. He says this. He says it's the only country that refuses to reach 5% of GDP in security spending by 2035. Because it's a plan that extends to 2035. That targets 2035. He says this. I find it terrible. I find it terrible. Here is what he stated. He added that Spain's economy could be completely destroyed. We're going to negotiate a trade agreement with Spain. We're going to make them pay double. So he announced that they have to negotiate with Spain regarding tariffs. And that's why he's going to double. Because just recently, he has said that European countries should pay 50%. He's going to raise it for Spain to 100%. Because that's going to be double. It's his way of making Spain pay. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is the situation Spain now faces. For Spain, committing to reach a 5% target would not only be unreasonable, but it's also counterproductive. Here is Spain's argument. Spain says it's counterproductive. First, it's unreasonable, but if it were only a matter of being unreasonable, that could be understood, but it's also counterproductive. That's it, because it won't bring anything concrete. It seems that Spain has understood. Spain wants to withdraw from anything related to conflict. Ladies and gentlemen, that was today's top story. I'll be back with more updates shortly. This was the voice of your one and only Samouraï.